Stardew Valley was released on the 26th of Feb in 2016, and it will mark its 6th anniversary next month this year. And since its big release, there has been 5 major updates, which has worked out one every year. In the first update, which was October 2016, this was one of the smallest ones, and marriage candidates got touched on. They now added outdoor areas on the farm that was unique for the spouses. 1.1 added some new farm buildings, for example the shed and the mill, the Junimo hut, the gold clock, and of course we got the new farm maps as well, the Riverland, Forest, Hilltop and the Wilderness, because when the game first got launched there was only the default standard layout. And then we moved on to the 1.2 update, another small one, and this basically was just translations for 6 new languages: German, Spanish, Brazil, Portuguese, Russian, Japanese and some simplified Chinese, and there was also some in-game support with some bug fixes. These 2 updates were the smallest, but then we moved on to 1.3 and things started to really take off with Stardew Valley, and the content that was added was huge. And the 1.3 is arguably one of the biggest updates because multiplayer was added, which is obviously a huge thing for Stardew Valley and something that really brings the game together. You know, take away all of the content and the new farm maps and the areas, you know, multiplayer is something that Stardew Valley really needed, and it's something that is very special to the game. So 1.3 we saw multiplayer, and we also saw lots of other things as well. We got the winter night market, there was more community upgrades, we got the secret notes as the quest, there was new monsters, new art events, and of course loads of balance changes and bug fixes as well. And then we move on to the 1.4. Now 1.4 and 1.5, the recent 2 updates, were the biggest updates in form of content. We got a lot of content added to these 2 updates. Of course, multiplayer alone is huge, and a lot has to go into that in order to make it work. But if you're talking about content, 1.4 and 1.5 were the biggest content updates. And 1.4 was huge. I remember when this came out in November 2019, tons of stuff got added to the game. We got the movie theater, we got tailoring, the new Four Corners farm map, we got fish ponds, more secret notes, new fish, new weapons. The list goes on. Obviously, I'm not talking about the updates in detail, but this was a huge one. And then of course we move on to the recent update 1.5, which we have all recently seen, which got released on the 21st of December in 2020, obviously a year after the 1.4. There's kind of a theme with these, every year we got an update. Yeah, and 1.5 was huge. We got obviously a brand new region, the world, Ginger Island, lots of new locations, dialogue, events, minigames, puzzles, new NPCs. We got the volcano dungeon, QI challenges, a new beach farm layout which is amazing. We got the ostrich as a new farm animal, house renovations, you can now enchant your tools and weapons. This update was huge, a lot bigger than 1.4. But we move on to the current year, 2021, the year that's just passed. We had no update. Obviously we have been getting updates every year. Where is 1.6? Will we ever see 1.6? This is the reason for this video. Will we see future updates for the game, or does it end here? Obviously Eric Barone, the developer of Stardew Valley, is working on a brand new game and he's putting all his efforts into that, which means Stardew Valley is obviously going to be pushed aside for now whilst he makes a lot of time and effort on his new game. Now this could obviously mean Stardew Valley just gets left where it is. Eric Barone has left the door open for future updates, and in a brand new interview with VG Kami, Barone spoke about the ongoing development of Haunted Chocolatier, but he was asked if he'd consider working on further updates for Stardew Valley after the former game launches, and he replied, "I have no plans either way. I don't want to make any promises for more updates, and I also don't want to say definitely that it's finished." He goes on to say, "I think the game is in a very good place as it is, so I don't think it's necessary to add more to it. But at the same time, there's always room for improvement." Whilst this isn't definite proof or promise that Stardew Valley will indeed receive future updates, there's no doubt that the smash hit game is on the creator's mind. This actually isn't the first time that Barone has stopped short of pledging future updates for Stardew Valley, because last year in September he did actually mention that he had a few specific improvements in mind for Stardew Valley, but he did go on to say that he couldn't promise any of these ideas would ever see the light or day, as he was focusing more on developing his new game Haunted Chocolatier, which obviously got announced last year. So this could potentially be the last update. The 1.5 could be the last update we see for Stardew Valley. Will we ever see a 1.6. Now, in my honest opinion, I don't think there will be another big update. If we do get updates for Stardew Valley, I believe it's just going to be something small, you know, maybe more bug fixes, some little bit of content added here and there. I don't think we're going to get another huge content update similar to 1.4 and 1.5. I just can't see what things would get added. Obviously, Eric Brown himself has said that Stardew Valley has huge potential and he could spend the rest of his life working on this game, you know, and he is open to ideas and to take this game further, but he's happy where it is now, and I think a lot of players are as well. So the thing that we are most looking forward to, you know, next is Concerned Ape's new game that he is working on. I think we just have to play Stardew Valley and enjoy it for what it is right now, and yeah, just not push him for an update and not anticipate one. You know, we don't want to get all excited and, you know, the possibilities for a 1.6 and we never get it. Yeah, like I said, in my opinion, I think this is the end for Stardew Valley. I feel like this game is kind of going to stay where it is for a very long time. If Eric does work on a new update, it's going to be further down the line, you know, in a couple of years, once we have Haunted Chocolatier, which is his game that he's working on, when we see that released, obviously, and when that does get released, he's going to be working on updates for that. He's going to add lots of content to that game, just like he did with Stardew Valley. You know, you start off with something basic and you add to it, and Stardew Valley, obviously coming from 2016, from the first update, we didn't even get multiplayer, we didn't even get any farm maps or anything like that, and look where it is to this day, you know, 5-6 years later, and that's probably what we're going to see with Haunted Chocolatier. I feel like that game is going to be the next Stardew Valley, with tons of content added over time. You know, potentially he could work on another game after that. He's obviously wanting to be a game developer. This is his hobby, this is his job, this is what he puts his heart and passion into. So rather than staying onto one game for the rest of his life, he wants to spread his arms, you know, move to different genres. Obviously very skilled now, he's learned a lot over his time. Stardew Valley was his little starter project, you know, and he wants to move on to other things, and that is obviously reasonable. So it could possibly be the end for Stardew Valley, which is not a bad thing. You know, Stardew Valley right now is in a good place. The content that we've got added, the multiplayer, everything, I feel like it is a very good game as it is, and it doesn't really need much more. Personally, it would be really nice to see new updates for this game. You know, this, like I said, the potential is huge. We've got Ginger Island, like, you know, a new area that we could go to. There could be tons of new areas that we could also explore in that game. But for now, and for a very long time, I think 1.5 is going to be the main update, the last one, the final one. Who knows? Will there be a 1.6? When the day comes, it'll be an exciting one. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Will there be a 1.6 update? Do you want another update, or are you happy with the game as it is now? And if you do want an update, what would you want to get added? What things would you like to see come to Stardew Valley? I can remember when I did my 1.5 wish list, what I wanted to see get added to 1.5, and basically a lot of stuff that I wanted and thought was coming to Stardew Valley actually did get added. You know, I did mention something about wanting to go on a boat from Willy and, you know, take us somewhere to a new place, a new island, and that actually came to the game, which was incredible. I would still be able to somehow go into Zuzu City. You know, it gets talked about a lot in the game from the NPCs, so being able to use the bus from Pam and take you into town, into the city with lots of shops and people, I would love that. Obviously we can do it with the mod, but seeing the, you know, the true game for what it is, and that getting added to the vanilla game would be insane. But that's going to be a huge update, and that would be a lot of hard work. That is something that I would like to see come to the game next. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. This was a short video. I just wanted to discuss the future of Stardew Valley, you know, like where is the game going from now, from the big update that we've just had, and obviously the announcement of the new game he's working on. I was just wondering where Stardew Valley would be in, you know, 1, 2, 3 years time. Would it still be at 1.5, or would there be a new update? I have no idea. I am swaying more to, you know, this is the end of Stardew Valley for now. I just feel like 1.5 is going to be around for a long time, up until we see a 1.6, but that's just my opinion. Like I said, get discussing in the comments. I'd love to see and hear what you guys think about this, and, you know, the future of Stardew Valley. It's a topic that does cross my mind a lot, but I'm going to end it there. I'm going to leave you all on a big question mark. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the idea of the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new around here, and let's hope we do get a future update for Stardew Valley, another big one. But if not, let's look forward to the brand new game from Eric Brown as well, Haunted Chocolatier. Thank you all for watching, take it easy, and I'll see you on the next one.